Yo, what up? Welcome to Mo Boxing No Problem. I'm Jose Marez Jr. and today I'm joined by Ruben of Through the Ropes.
Good, man. How
How's it
you
going,
doing?
Ruben? Long time no see. It's been a few weeks since we broke down a fight, and we got a good one to break down today. So we got a Gervonta Tank Davis versus Rolando Romero. That happened yesterday on Showtime pay-per-view. And you probably have already seen the KO by now, unless you've been living under the rock, because that has gone viral. But before we get to talking about the KO, I want to hear your thoughts on the fight. Did it go how you expected it to go?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to throw it out there. It's going into the fight, what's it called? Everything in my head was telling me go with Tank. He's a better boxer, has power. You know, he had the more experience in the big time fights, being under the light. But I don't know. I just have this gut feeling that Raleigh was gonna possibly win and do good. And what's it called? Till the knockout, I feel like he was doing good. I personally had him winning the fight.
As did I. You know, Rolly really impressed me because I was not expecting him to really be competitive in the fight. I thought he was going to have some success early, and then it's going to be a Tank takeover. But he was in it up until that punch, and I had Rolly winning 3-2. I saw some other people had Rolly 4-1. Rolly himself was like, I beat him every single round, but that's Rolly.
I had it 4-1. Yeah, I had it 4-1. And I mean, if you look at their, I mean, obviously, like, this doesn't really have like much credibility, but I mean, it kind of does, but I just want to say it. If you really look at their face, even after the fight, Tank Davis' face looks more busted up than Rolly's did.
Yeah, I did notice Tank had a cut, I think, on the top right hand side of his face. Was that from a punch or from like an elbow? Because I know Rolly was like doing some very tactical in there.
I don't know, to be honest. I have to go back and look at the fight, but he was landing some leather. We can't take that away, that he was landing some leather on him.
No. Yeah, the first round, I was expecting Rolly to come out just really aggressive and swinging, but that wasn't the case. It was very patient, both of them respecting each other's power.
Oh, yeah, you could tell that they were both respecting each other's power, as they should have. I thought during the round, though, at the end of the round, Raleigh hit him with the clean right, I think it was, and then Davis started talking smack. And I noticed that on the two judges had Tank winning that first round, and I'm like, how did he win the first round if Raleigh got like the best hit of the whole round where nothing really happened? It's like, I sometimes it just these judges, I don't know what these judges watch.
Yeah, and I think another judge gave the second round to Tank as well, and that was clearly a Rolly round. Yeah, because Rolly came on the second round.
Hey, for all we do, Raleigh probably maybe he was winning all the rounds until that blow, you know, man. Because I was watching it. Like I said, I have the majority of my friends. You know, they knew who Tank was. They didn't really know who Raleigh was, and they knew who he was because of all his antics and stuff leading up towards the fight. But they probably never watched the Raleigh fight before that. And even like my friends that were watching, they were like, oh crap, like shook, like, you know, like damn, Raleigh might pull this off. And deep down in my heart, like I was like, oh dude, he might pull it off too. And but in my head, like I even told him, I was like, dude, like, no, there's still a lot of fight left, and chasing, like, I mean, obviously, Tank wasn't running. A lot of people say when you're boxing, it's running. You're boxing. And chase, you know, trying to cut the ring off on Davis and stuff. You're chasing a bear, man. You're chasing, you know, something heavy, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, because I started noticing from the third round on, like Tank was really using the feint effectively. You know, I think one time he feinted and had Rolly flinching, and so I think he was setting him up, because even in that sixth round, you start seeing some of the feints. And I think Rolly was like, oh, he's going to feint and not throw anything back. But that's the punch that he did throw back. And, you know, unfortunately, Rolly ran into it. And that was the end of the night. You know, Rolly was definitely in the fight, but that was a powerful punch.
I don't know. I forgot what round it was, but Rolly hit Tank, and you saw Tank's legs, you know, do a little dance. I don't know. Yeah, and
Oh yeah,
like I was like, oh man, like I'm not gonna lie, there was a point in the fight where I was like, dude, Rolly might pull this off. I've been saying before, and yeah, what's it
yeah,
called? Like I said, I feel like you gotta you gotta take your hat off to Rolly, because I feel like not a lot of people would step into the ring with Tank right now. They say they will, but
yeah. No,
so far it's proven otherwise. I don't. Yeah, so
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. At least Rolly, got in the ring with him, and he, for the most part, backed up what he was saying. He did give Tank probably his toughest test. If you go by the test of the whose face would you rather be, I would probably rather be Rolly's face at the end of that fight. But ultimately, it's boxing, and one punch can change it all. And we saw how Manny Pacquiao versus Marquez, the last fight turned out. Pacquiao was winning that contest as well, and he walked into a very well timed shot by Marquez. Similar to what we saw here. So, fortunately, it's not how many rounds you win, but it's who wins.
I mean, it's matter how many rounds you win if you get to the 12 rounds. If you don't get to the 12 rounds, I mean,
yeah. If you win 11 and in the 12th round you get knocked out.
So this is. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I mean, this is. I have it right here in my head, and I'll let it go if I don't say it.
Say it.
I know a lot of people. The end of it, how he got up, and how the referee waved it off. I think I'm like back and forth on it. I feel like I said, I feel like he was winning the fight. 20 seconds left in the round. I know the referee doesn't know how much time is left, but I feel like for Rolly winning, for me thinking he was up in the fight, I personally think the referee should have let it continue, because it's not like he was taking a beating. He just got caught. And I know, yeah, he was wobbly. He was, but I know he put his hands up. The referee said, walk over here. I think he pointed to his right side, and Rolly responded. I mean, obviously, I don't know, the look in his eye or whatever, they waved it off for a reason. But I personally think Rolly fought a good fight. He deserved the chance to at least finish the round. Maybe he gets back in his corner. He gets some a little advice, because he had Joel Casamayor in his corner too. Maybe, he gets good advice.
Mm-hmm.
He could go get on the defensive a little, survive, and get his whereabouts back on him, put some ice on him, and who knows, maybe it's a different fight.
No, I'm glad you went there, because you actually read my mind. I wanted to talk about the stoppage and whether we thought that was a good stoppage or not. And I pretty much still feel like I told you yesterday, which I feel at the time I didn't agree with it. Based on how much time was left in that round, I thought the ref should just let it go and see if Rolly can survive that. But afterwards, seeing how Rolly walked out of the ring and out of the arena, it seemed like he needed support to be walking, and almost looked kind of concussed to me. So I think that's probably the good stoppage, because otherwise he keeps it going and he might end up coming out of that ring in a stretcher. No. We just don't know. So I think I would agree with it. You do want to see a fighter with many little seconds left in that round to get a shot to finish it out, but ultimately he might have just extended his career by stopping it down there.
No, for sure. I mean, like I said, me, I just that's my point of view, and the ref is there for a reason, so he did what he did for a reason, and like you said, live to fight another day. And speaking of that, Rolly's already calling the rematch. He already wants the rematch. I don't know. I think he has to go do more and fight other fights and then maybe call for the rematch. But I'd rather see Pitbull Cruz and Tank do a rematch other than Rolly.
That would probably be a better rematch in my opinion as well. I think a lot of it's going to depend on what Tank does with his promotional company, because I think this is probably his final fight with Mayweather Promotions. So I don't think he wants to have a rematch with the Mayweather promoted fighter after becoming a free agent. I think he's going to be going after the bigger fish. But Rolly gave a great performance, and I think as far as who he should fight next, I would want to see him against Jose El Rayo Valenzuela, who was in attendance scaring that fight. I think he would be a good one for that, or Isaac Cruz against Rolly. or Rolly versus Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw what happened when they faced off in sparring, Rolly and Ryan Garcia. I mean, obviously it's sparring, that was a while ago, but I honestly have every top like welterweight. I mean, not welterweight, lightweight. Yeah, I have every top lightweight beating Ryan Garcia. I don't know. He's talented and all that, but I don't know. There's just, I'm not really quite sold on him.
He dropped a lot after his fight with Tego. I'm not gonna lie. I used to have him definitely in the top 10. I have him outside of that now with that Tego performance. I'll see. I may change my mind depending on who he fights July 16th and how he looks, but as of right now, I think Rolly might even beat Ryan Garcia. So that's why I want to see that.
I think Rolly would beat him too. But going back, going back, what's it called? Did you see when Tank, I think he hurt his shoulder or his hand?
I think it was like the 5th round, yeah. And I thought his shoulder was injured, but because he grunted and it seemed like it bothered him for a little bit. But he then used it again and threw a punch. So I don't know what happened there.
Do you think that could be a problem? Like, I mean, you know how like Floyd had the hand problems. Do you think Tank could start having hand problems, possibly shoulder problems? Because he got hurt, or he hurt his shoulder, or what was it, in his last fight too against Pitbull Cruz.
With Cruz?
I mean, it looks now like, it looks like it's starting to become a pattern.
It may be, because back-to-back fights is concerning. Some boxers have like eye issues, and I think Tank might be having
it's like shoulder. Arturo Gatti used to break his right hand every fight he used to fight, sort of say. So
yeah, it could be. So who do you want Tank to fight next if it's not the rematch?
I want to see him, Haney, Kambosos, pretty much the top tier. I mean, Tio's at what? He's going to 140 now.
Yeah, that would be a good fight, but Tio's
Tio to 140. Yeah, so I want to Ryan Garcia. I think
that's another thing I want to ask you about 140. Do you think Tank can hang with the elite at 140?
I mean, he beat Mario Barrios. I mean, Mario Barrios wasn't quite elite at 140, but he was a damn good. He was a damn good 140 pounder too. But I mean, I want to say yes. I want to say he can. But obviously, they have to fight the fights to. And I feel like that would be a good fight. I mean, Tio was going up from 135 to 140, so it's like, why not do that? Maybe catch weight 138.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then after I interrupt you, what were you going to say about Tank and Ryan Garcia?
I think Tank will sleep Ryan. I think he would. Yeah, I think
so too.
I think he'll sleep Ryan like cold.
I just don't see that fight happening. I know Ryan already went to his Twitter and said, after 10 of business, let's make it happen December. I don't think he wants that smoke.
Boxing with B posted something on her Instagram story that was like, oh, how serious do you take Ryan's call out? And I was like, I don't even take his fight date serious until he's like in the ring boxing, And so that was like a little funny thing I thought I should throw because we were on that topic. So shout out Boxing with B if you're listening.
Shout out Boxing with B. Yeah, no, and she had a story too where she had that bet between Ryan Garcia and Errol Spence, that 20K bet. And I was like, Ryan, that's a dumb bet. But
I reposted that too, and I was like, I'm out $20 and Ryan Garcia's out $20K.
Well, the odds were good, for the payout, so I don't blame you dropping 20. Yeah. Awesome. Well, any other closing thoughts before we finish it off?
No. Next week it's going to be another interesting fight in the lightweight division. So.
Yeah, so we're getting closer and closer to finding the true undisputed king. So we'll have Haney Kambosos, and for sure we're going to break that down.
Going into that, I feel like, we'll have a better. If someone, because I would love to see Kambosos and Tank go at it too. I feel like that would be.
I was gonna say, winner or loser of next weekend's fight, I would love to see it versus Tank. Tank Haney or Tank Kambosos. That would be a good matchup.
That's an important matchup for a future Tank opponent.
Agreed. All right. Well, let's close it out. Why don't you tell people where they can find
you?
On
YouTube and on Instagram on Through the Ropes. Oh, and Twitter. I just recently made a Twitter. Yeah. So.
That's what's up. There you go. Everyone go follow him and catch us again next week. Talk more boxing. Later, guys.